Choose life, choose a career, choose never told to game. I'm your one-stop shop for updates, settings, gameplay, you name it, we got you covered for Warzone 3. So today we're going to be discussing what are the best settings for the PS5, for the actual PS5 console, as well as in Warzone settings as well. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. So the main things we're going to be focusing on are screen and video, accessories, and saved data and game app settings. So let's start with saved data and game app settings. So we click on this. We're going to go down to game presets, and we're going to make sure that we have performance mode ticked instead of anything else. So here you have game default, performance mode, and resolution. So for us, we want the game to be running as smooth as possible. We don't mind if it's not looking as good, crisp as we want, because for us, for first-person shooters, it's about frying those players. So that's that covered. Next section, accessories. Go to general, then you've got your Bluetooth accessories. Turn that bad boy off, especially if your controller, like mine, is wired. So you want to make sure you have that fastest response time to the console and not be Bluetoothing at any possible time. So turn that off, plug in your controller, and you're going to be having that little bit more faster input. Next, screen and video. So go to video output. Resolution, we're going to want to have it as automatic. We want it basically running at 4K, best optimally want. So we don't want to be selecting out of the others. As we go down, we have all the options, but we want it automatic. You can test your output as well, see what's going on. And then we want to make sure we've got 120 Hertz output as well to give us the best possible we can. I also turn off my HDR, so I use a monitor. So I adjust all my settings for light visibility via the monitor. It gives me the best optimal conditions. Otherwise, if you do HDR, those darks can be super dark, which means that some of the people that run some of the skins, you ain't going to see them in the corners. So it's going to make it a lot harder to adjust the contrast for you in that game. That's why I rock that boy. So that's all the three main things that you got to be doing for your PS5 console. So now, if we jump back into the game, back to game, we're going to go through all of our settings. So let's start off with controller. So controller. Here we've got our aiming input device as a controller, not a keyboard and mouse. I play solely on PS5, so that's that. Edit button layout will be default. I run a SCUF controller, as you can see, which means I have the paddles on the back, so I don't have to default it. I don't run claw, I'm very basic, and that's pretty much me. L1 ping off. Don't want that. I don't want to flip my triggers from R1, R2. I have impact triggers on my R1 and R2. So L1 and L2, should I say. So I know they're going to be super quick, just like pinging the R1, R2. If you haven't, you just have a normal controller, then you probably want to flip those so you get instant ADS and instant fire rate. Stick layout is default. Controller vibration off. You don't want to be firing and getting vibrations. Trigger effect off. Dead zone inputs. Let's click on this. So basically your left stick and your right stick max, you want to have them out pretty much max. It goes up to 100, I've got mine at 99. Then your left and right stick, you can have them anywhere between 0 and 10. You don't want to, if you're a brand new controller, you probably have it at 0, but you want to have a little bit of drift. That helps with that aim assist. So rank that up a little tiny bit. Your L2 and R2 button dead zones, you want those at 0, so you want to get that feedback as soon as possible, so you don't want anything adjusted there. Aiming, this is totally personal preference. I run 6.6 with a 0.8 for the ADS sensitivity multiplier. So my 6.6 means that I move around at X speed, but by dropping my ADS sensitivity, when I go into ADS, I move slower than my natural movement, if that makes sense to you guys. You can also have a sensitivity multiplier. Just keep that all set as 1. Vertical aim access is all as standard. Whoops, sorry about that, guys. Tactical stance, never use it. Aim response curve, you've got dynamic, linear, and standard. Pretty much the go-to is dynamic. If you're not liking it, probably try using linear. ADS multiplier focus is 1. ADS sensitivity transition timing, I want this instant. Custom sensitivity per zoom. If you like having different, I'll show you. If you like having different sensitivities, like I used to have it for higher up ones, a finer, slower movement. So if I was running snipers, but now I turn it off. I'm quite comfortable having mine everything at 0.8. My target aim assist I have on. Aim assist type you have default. A lot of people will be saying Black Ops, but there's pretty much no difference between the two. So personal preference, one run the other. ADS aim assist, have that on. Third person ADS correction type, have as assist. Motion sensitive aiming behavior, motion sensitive behavior off. And then you've got your advanced settings for that, which is motion sensing ratcheting off, gravity vector. Keep those as one, off, turn all these off. FO field sensitivity scaling on, and motion sensor user stick ADS sensitivity off. As well as keeping all these other ones, which are pretty much don't need to worry about. And then we go to gameplay. Always run automatic tactical sprint, slide maintain sprint with on, and this coincides with setting only takes effect when you have automatic sprint is enabled. Automatic forward off, tactical sprint behavior single tap run, grounded mantle on, automatic airborne partial, automatic ground mantle hang off, tap to slide. Some people might have this as slide only, which if you do slide only, that means you don't want to be diving into cover at any time. If you do have slide only, it does mean that you're going to be sliding instantly and not have that waiting for your basically your paddle to recognize, is it going to be an instant or is it going to be delayed. So you will have a slight delay in sliding. If you find it a problem, switch it to slide only if you're not going to be diving. We don't have the luxury of having the new controller where you can basically map slide and dive to a different button. That might be something that eventually we get for PS5. At present, we don't, sadly. Plunging underwater free, or parachute auto deploy off. We want to be land close to the ground as possible. We don't want the parachute automatically taking effect. Sprinting down, sprinting door bash on. Ledge climb behavior mantle only. Combat behaviors, aim down sight behaviors hold. You change zoom activation, sprint tactical sprint focus. Equipment behavior hold, ADS and melee for your weapon mount activation, weapon mount exit delay instant, tactical stance activation. I'm not worried about these, I don't use tactical stance. Interact behavior, interact is priority. I want to be picking up stuff around the map super quick. I don't want to be tapping to reload if I want to be picking up like an ammo statue, and then want to be able to hold it down from end to hold for the interact for my thing. Armor plate, apply all. ADS stick map off. Back buttons, directional. Some people like to have it stick, so you use the movement stick to navigate the back thing. This will not put you into auto move forward. Or some people like to use directional buttons on their pad. It's personal preference, but I prefer directional buttons personally. Depleted ammo weapon switch type on, and then grouped for the quick C4 detonation and manual fire as press. You can have hold, so if you're running something like a burst fire gun and you hold it, it will just repeat burst fire, saves you having to keep tapping. However, the problem you get with this is if you're running pistols and you're spamming the pistol with an R2, you're not gonna get the faster fire rate. It's gonna be a lot slower. So you do get a problem there. So press is definitely a good thing when you're starting off and using that. Vehicle camera recenter, short delay, camera initial position free look, and lean out activation is melee. Ping wheel delay moderate, double tap danger ping wheel moderate, and the last one at the bottom, kill streak wheel behavior as hold. That pretty much covers everything there. Graphics wise, if you've got the bandwidth, then have on-demand texturing enabled. Show more, I have my auto download limits off so I can download as much as I want. World motion blur I turn off, means that you don't get motion, everything stays as it is, perfect. Weapon motion blur, I do not want any weapon motion blur, I want it to be cream and crisp when I'm playing. Film grain at 0. Depth of field off. Fidelity CAS on, I have the strength at 80. Eco mode, optimize the self settings to reduce the energy consumption, heating potential wear and tear on your system. I have efficiency on. This does not have no impact on performance and visual quality while in gameplay. 120 refresh rate, Field of vision at 107. I don't like having it at 120. I feel I'm too far away. 107 for me is a very nice number. You could rock it anywhere from 100 to 110, and that's personal preference, but check it out, see what you like basically on that side. Third person field of view, not worried about, that's 80. First person camera, at least 50, blah, blah. Inverted flashbangs I have off, so it's more darker instead of whiter on my eyes. Not worried about these. Brightness is personal preference, but I have mine set at 55, so it's quite light, so where it says barely visible, I pretty much can see it, so it makes me seeing those people in the corners a lot easier. Next we have our audio. Audio mix, I have it as home theatre. Some people run headphones. It depends on what you run. I used to run the Astro A40 TRs, and for that I'd have it as headphone, but now I run the Arc Series Pro Nova and I run it on home theatre, and that works better for me. In terms of volumes, this will be standard for everything you run. Master volume at 100, gameplay music 0, dialogue at 30, effects at 100, voice chat at 40, and cinematics and music and wall tracks at 0. You don't want any noise that's going to be affecting your game whilst you play. Voice chat on, game, voice channel, all lobby, not just party. Last words, voice chat on, proximity chat on. This is the standard. Subtitles, etc, etc. All of this. The only one you want to look at here is reduced tinnitus sound. This also deafens the noises here, makes them more dull and murky, which makes it a bit clearer, so it's a lot better. I turn off hit markers as well, so when I'm firing I don't really want the hit markers on players. It's that extra sound in your ear. I'd rather be hearing footsteps that are coming along. Then your interface subtitles, I have them all off. Don't want any of the stuff under the bottom getting in the way of my screen. Everything else pretty much standard. Color customization, I have mine custom, so when I go on here I just pick a color that pops a little bit more. So you could in theory have a yellow that stands out a little bit more. Here I have the blue, which you could pop if you wanted, something like that, but I find this one a little bit popper. Green wise, something in the middle, red, and so on and so forth. Then you've got minimap as square, minimap rotation on, so you know the rotation as it moves. Hold constant on, so it always display comes at the top of the screen, which is cool. I have mine as static. Some people have it as on, but I have mine as static, which reduces motion sickness but does not actually represent the direction of the fire. Hit markers on, so you can see the hit markers when you get your headshots, which is good. Damage based hit markers as well. Full names instead of abbreviated icon. I want to see the full name of players I'm shooting. Gives me a better identification of where they are. In-game chat text on. Telemetry, I like to have my server latency and packet loss on, so I can basically see if there's any issues with the game and if I'm having any lag. And that pretty much wraps up everything in terms of settings for the Warzone as well as your PS5 console. So guys, I hope you like and subscribe to this, and I shall see you guys in Warzone 3.0. Laters.